Imagine standing in court, the weight of a decision resting on someone's memory. A witness points, confident, unwavering. We instinctively trust that recollection, believing their eyes and mind captured the truth like a perfect camera. But what if I told you that our brains, incredible as they are not perfect recording devices? What if the very act of paying attention, or rather, how we pay attention, can make that confident witness surprisingly, tragically, unreliable? Welcome. Today we're going to gently pull back the curtain on one of the most critical, yet often misunderstood aspects of human psychology, the fallibility of memory, particularly when it comes to eyewitness accounts. It's a topic with profound real-world consequences, impacting lives and shaping the very fabric of our justice system. Understanding this isn't about blaming witnesses. It's about understanding how our minds work under pressure and how that knowledge can help us build a fairer world. For decades, scientists have meticulously studied how we perceive and remember events, especially traumatic ones. Their findings challenge a common belief that our memories are like video playback, perfectly preserved recordings ready for instant recall. The stark reality, confirmed by organizations like the Innocence Project, is that faulty eyewitness testimony is the single greatest cause of wrongful convictions, implicated in a staggering 69% of DNA exoneration cases. That's not just a statistic, that's lives unjustly altered. And at the heart of this issue lies a fundamental limitation of our brains: how attention works. So let's explore this intricate landscape of perception and recall, starting with the very first step of memory formation: attention. Our brains are constantly bombarded with information, far more than we can possibly process. To cope, we have what's called selective attention. Think of it like a spotlight. When you shine that spotlight on one area, everything else around it falls into shadow. This is incredibly efficient, allowing us to focus on what's important at any given moment. But here's the catch: what falls into those shadows often goes completely unnoticed. This phenomenon is known as inattentional blindness. You might have heard of the famous gorilla in the room experiment by Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabrice. Participants were asked to count basketball passes, and while doing so, a person in a gorilla suit walked right through the middle of the game. A significant number of people, completely focused on counting, simply didn't see the gorilla. It wasn't that they forgot it, they never perceived it in the first place. Now, imagine this in a high-stakes situation, like witnessing a crime. Our attention isn't just selective, it can also be divided. If a witness is trying to process multiple things at once, the sounds, the movements, their own fear, their ability to accurately encode details diminishes significantly. This cognitive load means less mental bandwidth is available for forming strong, reliable memories, especially for information that seems less central to the immediate threat. A particularly striking example of this is the weapon focus effect. Research shows that when a weapon, like a knife or a gun, is present during a crime, a witness's attention instinctively zeroes in on it. It's a primal response to a perceived threat. But while their memory of the weapon might be quite good, their recall of other crucial details, such as the perpetrator's face, clothing, or surrounding environment, becomes significantly impaired. The weapon effectively steals attention from everything else.
And then there's stress. Witnessing a crime is, by its very nature, a highly stressful experience. While a moderate level of stress can sometimes sharpen our focus on immediate tasks, extreme stress often has the opposite effect on memory. High stress levels can narrow our attention even further, disrupt the normal encoding of specific details, and lead to fragmented, less accurate recollections. It's like our brain prioritizes survival over perfect recall, which makes sense from an evolutionary perspective, but can be problematic in a courtroom. Beyond the initial act of perception, our understanding of memory itself has evolved dramatically thanks to pioneers like Frederic Bartlett. He proposed that human memory isn't a simple recording, but an active reconstructive process. Think of it less like playing back a video and more like rebuilding a jigsaw puzzle every time you try to remember something. Each time we recall an event, our brain pieces it together, filling in gaps and sometimes even subtly altering details based on our current understanding or new information. This reconstructive nature is why memory is so vulnerable. The renowned memory expert Elizabeth Loftus famously puts it this way: memory works a little bit like a Wikipedia page. You can go in there and change it, but so can other people. This means our memories can be influenced by all sorts of things that happen after the event itself: suggestive questioning, hearing other people's accounts, or even just our own expectations. This vulnerability affects memory at every stage.
First, there's encoding. If our attention is limited during an event, critical information might never be properly registered by the brain in the first place. It's like trying to record a show while half asleep. You just miss parts. Next, storage. Even if a memory is encoded, it can fade over time or become distorted. Our brains aren't perfect archives. And finally, retrieval. This is where memory is most susceptible to external influences. Suggestive questioning or even subtle cues can unconsciously alter a witness's account, sometimes leading them to confidently remember things that never happened. Understanding these psychological phenomena has been the life's work of many brilliant researchers, not just Loftus and Bartlett, but also Gary Wells, who is focused on eyewitness identification, and Jennifer Dysart, who studies factors influencing accuracy. Their work has created a significant divide between scientific consensus and public perception. One of the most persistent and problematic controversies is the confidence-accuracy link. It's natural to assume that a witness who is highly confident in their memory must be accurate. Jurors, in particular, often give significant weight to a confident witness. However, decades of research consistently show that there is a weak correlation between a witness's confidence and the actual accuracy of their memory. A witness can be absolutely convinced they are right, yet be entirely wrong. This gap in understanding can lead to devastating miscarriages of justice. So, how do we bridge this gap? How do we balance the undeniable need to prosecute criminals and ensure justice with the acknowledged fallibility of human memory? This is where the legal system, law enforcement, and psychological science must work together. There are crucial pathways forward. One key area focuses on what we call system variables, factors that can be controlled by the justice system. For example, law enforcement agencies are increasingly adopting best practices for identification procedures, such as using double-blind lineups, where neither the administrator nor the witness knows who the suspect is. This prevents unintentional cues. They're also trained to avoid leading questions during interviews, which can inadvertently plant false memories. Another vital step is increasing the admissibility and utilization of expert psychological testimony in courts. Experts can educate judges and juries about the complexities of memory, attention limits, and the lack of a strong confidence-accuracy link, helping them make more informed decisions. Furthermore, as technology advances, the push for exploring alternative forms of evidence, like DNA analysis and CCTV footage, continues to grow, providing robust safeguards against misidentification. Ultimately, the journey towards a more just legal system requires a deep and humble appreciation for the intricate workings of the human mind. Our attention, while a powerful tool, has inherent limits. These limits mean that even the most well-intentioned, honest witness can provide an account that is, through no fault of their own, incomplete or inaccurate. Understanding this isn't about eroding trust, but about building a stronger foundation for truth. It's about recognizing that our memories are precious, fallible, and profoundly human. By aligning our legal practices with the scientific understanding of memory, we can better protect the innocent, ensure true justice, and honor the complexities of the mind itself. Thank you for joining me today.